But the story begins that I was always around the water and fisherman and always interested and liked to fish, liked to clean it, liked to eat it. And eventually, as I guess got in my early teens or so, I started going fishing with the fishermen would take me because I cleaned fish and helped in the boat. And the story got around that was well known about when you went to the bank, which was a seamount to the southwest of Bermuda, that you couldn't eat the fish livers, but the fish roe in the springtime was fine. And the story was on the fish livers, and it'd always be grouper livers because they had the big livers. And if you ate one of them, the first story was a headache, and it was a headache like you'd never remember. I can remember getting the first time I ate it, I didn't believe anybody, and I had this big group of liver and sat down, fried it all up, and had an absolutely marvelous supper. And in the early hours of the morning, I woke up with a headache, and it was a headache like you couldn't even believe. I'd never had anything like it before. Like somebody put a big hose clamp around your head and kept on tightening it up. And the only help was to go down and put your head in the refrigerator. Anyhow, after a while, the headache went, a day or two later, and the skin started to peel, and that started right up at the hairline. It came all off forehead, face, arms, whole body, and the real serious part was when it got to your hands. All the skin came off the palm of my hands, and God, it was just continuous pain. You couldn't pick up anything. It was just like raw flesh. And then after it, it went down to the feet. And I guess it must have been 2 weeks before I could walk. I couldn't put my feet on the bottom, on the deck, on the floor. And when all this was a whole going on for several months. And the final thing was when my thumbnails dropped out. Then I lost all my fingernails. Then the toenails dropped out. And I guess it must have been a full year before I recovered to what I thought I should be. And it was something to do with the livers. It's only, as far as I know, it's only 2 living cases. And he had the same reaction. First of all, headache, then skin, then fingernails, then toenails. And the real interesting part about this, if it's roughly 5 miles between the top of the seamount and Bermuda, the top of the seamount that Bermuda's on, the bank, which is separated by 500 fathoms, and then it comes up on Bermuda's edge, as you call it, or the shelf that Bermuda sits on. And in that 5 miles, you can eat the livers. Matter of fact, I still eat them out of the big groupers with no bad effects at all. And 5 miles further out, on top of the seamount, whatever they get to eat would make the fish toxic. I don't even like to clean them up, touch them when I'm cleaning them, because from the memories of the past. And it's something has to be in the diet, and it's not natural for something to be in such, you can understand, hundreds of miles or across the Gulf Stream, or that fish would be edible and poisonous on the other side of the stream. But that's always been a curiosity to me, is how it could be so definitely separated for such a short distance.
Do you think the fish migrate between Challenger Banks and Bermuda?
Well, some do, I guess, yeah. I was thinking more like the food migrates. The groupers, they're carnivorous, they eat other fish. It's on the bottom. They're not pelagic, it's on surface fish. And that would be my non-scientific, just purely think that whatever would make the fish on the seamount, on the bank, toxic and not reach Bermuda's shelf. A lot of fish do migrate back and forth, because as far as fish migration, 5 miles is nothing. The ocean currents by accident when they could do it. But it's very much there.